Coming right up, another fun Varsity Sports Show.
Thank you for listening to the Varsity Sports Show. Our mission is to empower education and enable dreams, creating a platform to promote young people in extracurricular activities and community outreach. If you are interested in partnering up with the Varsity Sports Show, find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or call or text us at 480-779-9437. The Varsity Sports Show, Arizona's home for youth, high school, college, and you. Coming this winter to the Varsity Sports Show, AIA, high school, basketball, soccer, and wrestling. Attention, student-athletes, parents, coaches, and administrators. We are contracted affiliates with NFHS. Tired of Pixelot? Our NFHS authorized platform can spotlight your favorite team with multi-camera and full broadcast crews. We still offer our YouTube channels as well. Single game, multi-game, and season coverage available to meet every budget, including a segment on the Varsity Sports Radio Show on AM 1060 KDUS Arizona, dedicated to your team. We can even help promote your booster businesses. Act fast. The season is right around the corner.
Hi, kids. This is DJ Soulman from the Funk Junkies, and you're listening to the Varsity Sports Show with my man Vince Delicio. And what's your last name?
It's Delicio.
Okay, that's right. That's what I thought. Yeah, right.
KDUS AM 1060 Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix is home for the Dan Patrick Show.
This program is paid for by the JV Sports LLC and its partners.
You're listening to the Varsity Sports Show, home of Arizona's youth, high school, college sports, and you, empowering education and enabling dreams, right here on KDUS AM 1060 in Arizona. And now, welcome to the Varsity Sports Show.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060 KDUS Arizona. My name is Vince Delicio, and another beautiful morning here in Phoenix, Arizona, the jewel of the Southwest, and joined by my broadcast partner today, lead basketball analyst for the Varsity Sports Show, and a guy that can dunk a basketball. I think that's what got him the job, Connor Bonfilio. Connor, how are you, sir?
I'm doing good, Vince. Excited to be here. You know, all my friends have told me I got the face for radio.
Yes.
So I'm really excited to be here.
Yes, well, you sound excited to be here, too. And you do have the face for radio. I think that's why we all are kind of drawn together here, is that we, as long as there's no cameras on us, we sound pretty. So, anyway, or we look pretty. All right, anyway, so Connor, what I want to do is we're going to talk about our show. We got a lot of things to talk about today. We're in studio today, obviously. We are live, we are living, we are breathing, and we're going to have a great time with today's show. You miss a minute, you miss a lot. It's only an hour, and we jam-pack a lot of stuff into it. But want to know a little bit about you. So first of all, Connor, you are new to the Varsity Sports Show team. You have been tasked with telling some stories. Tell us about your background, first of all.
Yeah, so I'm from the Bay Area, California originally. I grew up in Portola Valley, California, if you're familiar with that area. Okay. Right next to Stanford University.
Wow.
In the West Bay, so one of the most beautiful places to grow up. Very fortunate to grow up in that area. I attended a small private Catholic school. Really wanted to play basketball in college. I was a late bloomer, so it took me a while for my body to develop. Didn't get very many offers. I had some Division IIIs, Division IIs. Really wanted to play Division I. Ended up going to the University of Colorado Boulder.
Wow.
Loved it. Campus is just gorgeous.
Yeah.
If you've ever been to that area.
Yeah. Boulder, yeah.
And I took a year, my freshman year, to lift weights and let my body naturally develop a little bit. And then my sophomore year, talked to the coaches, talked to the players. They said, you've got what it takes. You should walk on. And I received a workout packet, which is what all the players get, in the off season to train and condition and stuff like that. I joined a Pro-Am league in Folsom, California, which is close to our state's capital, Sacramento. And in the second game of the season, I had a contact knee injury. I tore my ACL and meniscus.
Man.
Effectively ending my chance
Wow.
joining the
Ended
team.
your career before it really took off.
Correct. Yeah.
Wow.
So I'm a big believer in everything happening for a reason.
Okay.
And Vince, to be honest with you, I wouldn't be sitting here doing this show with you if it wasn't for that moment.
Yes, so thanks for blowing your knee out.
Yeah.
And you're
No problem, man. Least I can do.
Wow,
Right?
that's an incredible story. And yes, everything happens for a reason. So if I wouldn't have been banned from coaching, I wouldn't be sitting here. No, I wasn't that bad. But no, exactly. Same thing. That is something. So things happen for a reason. So we're fortunate. We are excited. And again, as I said, you've been tasked for being the lead basketball analyst for the Varsity Sports Show this winter, spring. You're going to be covering everything basketball, even once basketball season ends. Like, what kind of stuff do you have going on here for the programming?
Well, we don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. We're
Yeah.
definitely going to do postseason stuff.
Yeah.
I am actually covering Willow Canyon basketball in one of my other classes, so I'll be following their journey all the way through the postseason. But then for varsity, we'll have to cover postseason stuff, and then in the off season, maybe do some recruiting, maybe see where guys are headed for colleges, stuff like that, see if there's any transfer news, and then we'll go from there.
All right. So make the Varsity Sports Show your home for basketball coverage, high school basketball coverage here in the state of Arizona. Even once the season ends, it'll continue on. And you mentioned one of your classes. So you are a graduate student. You're working on a master's degree at Cronkite.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm in the Masters of Sports Journalism at the Cronkite School at ASU, one of the most competitive sports journalism programs in the country, if not the most competitive.
Wow.
Fortunate to be here. Loving what I'm doing. I'm getting lots of hands-on experience. Love my classmates. Love my professors. And every day is a blessing.
Awesome.
I'm excited to be here.
So we're going to get to know you a little bit more as the weeks go on, obviously, because you'll be providing reports. You'll be back in studio periodically as well. So, and you're doing live streaming, broadcasting for us out there, doing analyst work as well as play-by-play work. So definitely watch for Connor's work. This guy is a pro, guys. This is... what I say is this is one step closer to legitimacy for our program. So we're bringing on some true professionals here. So anyway, let's talk a little bit about today's show. So today's show, we are going to be flying through this thing. The Varsity Sports Show is pleased. We are excited to announce that we have inked a deal with the Canyon Athletic Association to provide coverage and specifically basketball today, as well as some other things coming down the pike with them. But basketball, we are going to be broadcasting the Bella Vista Bears and the Southern Arizona Prep Volunteers today. The Open girls team, they are a national power and based out of Cave Creek. It is unprecedented. We are excited about this partnership. And on the line with us, we're going to bring on the first coach with us from the Southern Arizona Volunteers, the prep school down in Tucson. Get this, we could spend an hour talking about this. This coach's name is Vince Lombardi. Coach Lombardi, are you there?
I figured you'd go to that.
Coach, we could spend hours upon hours talking about your name alone, and just you're like one of my inspirations. I know you're not the Vince Lombardi, but you're a Vince Lombardi. So Coach, let's talk about your team. So enough about you. Let's talk about your team.
Yeah.
Tell us about the Volunteers.
So we're a first-year program, prep program.
Okay.
There hasn't been one in Tucson until this year. The boys' first year was last year, and they had a pretty successful year. So the Volunteers decided to go to a girls' program this year. So we just were up, just getting it started and initiated. So the girls are really excited about this first year so far. Everything that we thought it would be is, coming to fruition. So, opportunities like today is, what we got into this for to begin with.
Coach, Connor Bonfilio here. You got a two-headed monster in Sunday Leopoldo and a Chol Mago. Hopefully I'm not butchering her name.
It's a hard name to pronounce. The Chol Magat, Sunday Leopoldo.
Okay,
Yep.
My apologies.
No
you guys have pretty much been steamrolling everybody except for PHH Prep. Are you going to see them again? And if so, what's it going to take to get a W against those guys?
Well, the first time we played them didn't go so well. We didn't play our best game. And, it's a learning experience when you're playing a team like that that's got several Division I prospects on their team, some kids that have already signed D1 and that play on a very high level on a continual basis. So the first time we played them was a rough go, but the second time we played them, we did much better. We ended up, coming within 10, and we outscored them in the second half by 5 points. So our team is still coming together. The chemistry's still building. We've added a few pieces, and going through the typical ups and downs of the season like this with COVID and holidays and all that. We're just now getting to the point where we're hitting on all cylinders. So if we see them again, which that's what we're hoping, maybe in the state championship game, maybe we can make a run at them.
All right. Coach, thanks so much for joining us this morning. We will see you later this afternoon. We will be broadcasting, and the link is on our Twitter page at Varsity Show. This evening's game at tip-off is at 5:30. We'll look forward to seeing you then. Southern Arizona Volunteers Prep School out of Tucson. Coach Vince Lombardi. Coach, I loved your work with Green Bay, by the way. Thanks, Coach.
Hey, listen, real quick,
Yeah.
We appreciate you guys covering this game.
All right.
We love what you're doing. Thank you for giving our girls exposure. The girls are really excited about it. So, again, thank you for covering us.
Okay, we'll talk to you later. Thanks, Coach.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks.
Joining us on the line, Bella Vista, the Bears. Coach April Schilling. Coach Schilling, good morning.
Good morning.
How's it going, Coach? You guys ready today?
I hope so. We'll see. We'll find out here in a few hours.
So, Coach Schilling, you guys also played PHH Prep twice. Seems like they're really the powerhouse in prep hoops right now. Are you guys also a newish program? I know we just talked to Vince Lombardi of Southern AZ, and they're a brand new program. Where can you see this team going this season?
Yeah, we just have about a month left here, closing in on the home stretch of the season. And the prep, they have, 4 D1 players, probably more eventually, but they're young players on their squad. And so we're just hoping to, hopefully, that's why you play the game, is you never know. At any given night, maybe we can catch them on a tough night. So, but they're very talented, and so we're excited for possibly seeing them again here in the near future.
Coach, can you give a quick shout out to some of your staff? Obviously, you don't do this alone. What are some of the coaches that are there to support you?
Yes. Coach Donish, he'll be there tonight. He does a lot of things. He does from recruiting services to agencies to running a great summer program, and he's a huge help. He'll be there tonight on the bench, and we're just so thankful for him. And so, yeah, it should be a fun night. The girls are excited. Appreciate the coverage that y'all are bringing, and it should be a fun night.
All right. We are excited here at the Varsity Sports Show. This evening, 5:30 p.m. out at Bella Vista Prep, 56th Street, and just south of Carefree Highway, which is right on the border, Cave Creek, Scottsdale, Phoenix, right there. It's right around the corner from my house, actually. So looking forward to that. It should be a lot of fun. Coach April Schilling, Bella Vista, the Bears. Coach, good luck tonight against Southern Arizona. We will see you there.
I appreciate it.
All right.
Thanks.
Great.
All right.
So joined in studio, my co-host today, Connor Bonfilio. Connor, when we come back, we are going to be running an interview that our very own Alyssa Munoz, who is our JUCO sports beat writer this spring, of covering the Mesa Community College women's basketball team, Coach Corey Stevenson. She's a national champion. She's won a lot of games over there. She's been there over 20 years, and she's younger than you. I mean, Coach Stevenson is a very young woman, but she literally right out of college, she took over that program. So, and been an icon there. And so we look forward to hearing from Coach Corey Stevenson of Mesa Community College women's basketball, presented by our very own Alyssa Munoz when we come back from the break here on the Varsity Sports Show, the JUCO Sports Report. And then we'll be joined by Willow Canyon head basketball coach Joe Coletti and player Tate DeBoer. Stick around, folks, when we come back. Looking forward to it. It's going to be a great show the rest of the way. Hang on for the ride of your life. Go Varsity.
Killer Bees Ball with Jim Brinson and Howard Balzer, Tuesday night, 6 to 7 p.m. Here on KDUS AM 1060 and KDUS1060.com.
Hello, everyone. I'm Griffin Greenberg, and I'm thrilled to join the Varsity Sports Show team. I will be covering something never covered before in the history of Varsity Sports Show, prep basketball. Arizona showcases some of the top high school prep basketball in the nation and has sent men's and women's hoopers to multiple top-tier colleges and even professional leagues. Join me on the ride as I take a deep dive into the scenes of some of the top competition in high school hoops in Arizona.
Coming this winter to the Varsity Sports Show, AIA, high school, basketball, soccer, and wrestling. Attention, student athletes, parents, coaches, and administrators. We are contracted affiliates with NFHS. Tired of Pixelot? Our NFHS authorized platform can spotlight your favorite team with multi-camera and full broadcast crews. We still offer our YouTube channels as well. Single game, multi-game, and season coverage available to meet every budget, including a segment on the Varsity Sports Radio Show on AM 1060 KDUS Arizona, dedicated to your team. We can even help promote your booster businesses. Act fast. The season is right around the corner. Hey guys, Vince here to talk to you about a good friend of mine named Bob Jenkins. Bob is a Marine Corps veteran. Bob and his younger brother DJ own Vets Built Contracting. You've seen their trucks around Metro Phoenix, I'm sure. For 5 years, they've been hiring and putting veterans to work. Vets Built is licensed, bonded, and insured, both residential and commercial, specializing in renovations, remodeling, new build, casitas, safe rooms, or small commercial TI work. If you're a skilled veteran looking for work, a homeowner in need of work, or a commercial business needing TI work, please call Bob or DJ at Vets Built at 480-584-3675.
Hello, my name is David Montoya, the HJCAC beat writer and broadcaster with the Varsity Sports Show. As a former junior college transfer myself, I am so happy to be covering the Hohokam Junior College Athletic Conference. It is my duty to bring any news surrounding this league right here on the Varsity Sports Show. You can also follow me on Twitter @_David Montoya to keep up with any HJCAC news. Thank you for listening to the Varsity Sports Show.
Carving out time in your afternoon for the Doug Gottlieb Show right here on KDUS AM 1060, 100.7 HD2, and KDUS1060.com. Weekdays from 1 to 3 p.m.
You are listening to the JUCO Report on AM 1060 KDUS Arizona, the Varsity Sports Show. Here's your host, Alyssa Munoz.
All right, hi, welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show. I'm Alyssa Munoz, here with the head coach of the women's basketball team at Mesa Community College, Coach Corey Stevenson. Coach, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, thanks. How about yourself?
I'm doing good, thank you. You know, Coach, I was looking into you, and I see that you've been at the college for almost about 23 years now, and you have a very long list of accomplishments. I mean, you even have a national title and honestly so much more. What are some things you've learned over the years that's helped shape your program into what it is today?
Oh, honestly, just to keep loving the kids, find different ways to love the kids and continue to be positive. Because like I say, junior college, it's kind of like Groundhog Day. I know exactly what's going to happen every time, every month, or, this stress is going to hit this month. This stress is going to hit this month. This adversity is going to hit this month. So just kind of over the time, just having more patience and finding different ways to encourage kids. Like, kids need a lot of encouragement right now.
Definitely. And, especially during junior college or college in general, it's hard to balance both academics and sports. What is some advice that you'd give your players?
Time management. We teach time management. I probably do need to do a better job teaching it. But the biggest advice, and I've learned this from interviewing other student athletes in other programs, the successful student athletes have their time management down, whether that's just simply using an old school planner or if it's on their phones. But they are very routine, and they stick to their time management piece. So that's how they become successful, because they're not, nothing's procrastinated, because everything's like jotted down daily. It's not like monthly, it's like literally daily. The successful ones are using their time management well.
Yeah, and then just from here, it keeps building for honestly the rest of your life, and it's a great thing to have time management for sure.
Yep, that's my biggest piece of advice to anybody.
And what are some challenges you feel like you've faced this season?
This season, well, luckily this season, honestly, we've had we have a good group of girls. Like, they're like so fun to hang out with. Some, great to come to practice. Good personalities. But just recently, we've had a couple of injuries to our guard spot. So, like, our depth in our guard spot, if we're talking X's and O's, has been a little bit of a challenging, just developing our post players. And, we were playing with 4 guards. Now we're playing with 3 guards and that kind of thing. But that's the biggest. There hasn't been too. We've been lucky. It hasn't been too challenging. It's just like, okay, let's just turn left instead of go straight and still be on our road, our map.
Yeah, it's not too bad of a season, honestly. And right now you're on a 2-game winning streak. What are some things you're going to focus on for the next game?
Well, we play Cochise tomorrow, and we have to, focus. We have to travel tough. It's an away trip, so we have to make sure our minds are in a good spot. And then secondly, when we're talking the X's and O's, we got to really focus on rebounds, second chance points, and penetration defense.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much, Coach, for your interview today, and good luck on the rest of your season.
All right. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. That was Alyssa Munoz, who is going to be tasked with being the beat writer for JUCO sports, all of the community colleges here in the state of Arizona. And she did a great job covering Coach Corey Stevenson of Mesa Community College women's basketball, who has just been an icon over there for years and continues to be. So we are back here, Vince DeLisio, joined by my co-host today, Connor Bonfilio, our lead basketball analyst, and joined on the line. We've had a lot of fun covering this school. Did a 4th game for them the other night that we broadcast. And Willow Canyon, the Wildcats up in the Northwest Valley in Surprise, Coach Joseph Coletti. Coach Coletti, good morning, sir.
Hey, Vince. Hey, Connor. How are you guys? I got Tate with me here. We're excited to be on with you.
That's awesome. Yeah, Tate DeBoer, I was getting ready to introduce him. To me, and I've seen this guy play, obviously, the last couple of games. He is like the Dennis Rodman of Arizona high school basketball. This guy is a beast.
Well, thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Without all the off-court drama, of course. But, yeah, nice going.
Thank you.
Coach Coletti and Tate, good to hear from you guys. It's Connor. Obviously, I was at your last game, talked to both of you guys. How you feeling after the win?
Oh, it was a good win for us. I think we played hard, and Washington's a pretty good basketball team, so it was good for us to get that win.
Yeah, Connor, we went back and watched the film, and some details I think we could clean up. We're in practice right now. Tate and I kind of stole a few minutes, but we're cleaning some of those details up, trying to get ready for the next game. At the end of the day, these seniors, we've got 7 of them. Senior night coming up this Friday. If anybody's in the community, love to have you out, pack the gym. But we got 7 seniors who are focused on daily leaving a legacy that's bigger than them. And so they're in the gym working, they're watching film, trying to get better, holding each other accountable, and they're just hungry, hard workers that are hungry.
Well, you're undefeated in region at 5-0 in the 5A Central. Your ranking according to AIA is number 16 in the state. You're 10-3 overall. I mean, I was watching you the other night, Coach. You about blew a gasket, and you guys were up by most of the game, up by 15, 20 points. But you're constantly preaching to these guys to take advantage of every single opportunity to play to perfection. And how did Tate? I got to ask you. Does it get a little old when you guys have these big leads and your coach keeps yelling at you like this to be perfect?
He's sitting right next to me. He doesn't want to be that on.
Coletti he gets fired up, but I think we all like it. We all like to be held accountable, and like Coach was saying, there's no such thing as garbage minutes. Everything you can get something from any part of the game, and so that's why I think he pushes us so hard.
Guys, you got a big game on Tuesday before senior night against a team you've already seen, North Canyon. Yeah. They're an impressive team. So are you guys, obviously. And you handled them pretty easily last time, 17-point victory against them. What's it going to take on the road to defeat North Canyon this Tuesday?
Yeah, it's always hard to play a team multiple times. Region teams, we play a chaotic style. We like to pressure the basketball. We like to get up and down. And so I think a lot of times teams don't really know what to expect the first time they play us. And so the second time, good coaches, good teams make adjustments. So, and you know this, Connor, from playing basketball, that it's really a game of runs. And so for us in that North Canyon game, we started the game really well. We kind of stalled a little bit in the second quarter, and then we kind of clawed our way through the third, and then we had a big run in the fourth quarter that kind of gave us that lead that we were able to hold on to. But they're a really good basketball team. They've won a lot of games. They won a winter invitational. So did we. So, we just need to be better. We need to take it one play at a time, and we're hoping that our Dennis Rodman, as you said, can rebound and defend and do some things along with his teammates. And I'll give him the final thought. Any thoughts, Kate?
Wait, hold on. Not final thought. We still got some time here because I got a couple more questions that I want to ask, but I appreciate that, Coach. We're going to hire you to be our clock manager here. So anyway, but Tate, specifically, I'm looking at the stat sheet here, and I'm seeing that you're averaging 10.3 rebounds a game. You're averaging 10.4 rebounds a game. You're averaging 4.6 blocks per game. What, aside from the stat sheet and those impressive numbers, what do you think your teammates are saying about you?
I think they appreciate all the blocks. It kind of allows them to get more in their guys' drill and kind of let them, because they know they have me down there. But yeah, man, blocking's been kind of like my goal. I really wanted to help down in the paint and be a rebounder and defensive guy. So yeah.
Tay, you and I talked after the Washington game 2 nights ago, and you said your coach, don't want to get you in trouble because I know he's standing within arm's length of you, but you talked about communication. I want to go a little bit deeper into that specifically. What is your coach looking from you and your other teammates specifically on communication?
He's mostly just looking for the senior guys to just lead the younger guys, tell them where to be, even if they already know, and just communicate so you can always be in the right position to make the right play.
So, Coach, and let's talk about some of these other guys on your roster. For people that don't know, that don't know Willow Canyon basketball and Coach Joe Coletti and his up-tempo style of play, aggressive play. I mean, you've got your all-time leading scorer is still on your roster, still playing for you. Pike Tansel, he's averaging almost 21 points a game. Pike is also averaging nearly 7 assists a game. So that tells you right off the bat, these guys are scoring a lot of points. If he's able to score that many points and dish off that many opportunities, they're scoring some points. You got David Bright's 3.3 steals a game. This guy I'd hate to be walking in a crowded room with him because he'll pick my pocket probably. I mean, this guy is a steal machine. But you got all these role players, and they're just so content in these roles. How do you continue this momentum?
Yeah, it's a great question. So we've been here. I was hired 5 years ago, and some of the guys that you just mentioned, Pike and David in particular, I started coaching them when they were in 8th grade. And, we had a club basketball team that they played on. And from that day, it was establishing an expectation that, we were going to compete for a state championship before they left. And, they've been committed to the process. Bryce Hansen is another senior. Xavier Vaughn, who unfortunately has been injured but started off the season really hot for us, just coming back from an injury. We actually got him in practice. Last night was his first practice in about 4 weeks. Phenomenal young men make phenomenal basketball players. Anthony Wheatley is another guy who's a senior, who's been with us for almost 5 years. Doesn't score a lot of points, doesn't complete a lot of steals when you look at the stats.
Yeah.
But he's one of our most important defensive players. And then our last senior, Monty Keel, who came to us kind of midway through his high school career, has been committed to being a great teammate. Has had a couple key moments for us. And, they just understand that they're a part of a puzzle, and they play their part, and they're committed to that, and it's working out. So it's fun when it works out, and we just love having those guys.
Coach, we appreciate you coming on, and we'll be talking to you again next week to find out how the rest of the season's going for you. But thanks again, Willow Canyon boys basketball coach Joe Coletti joining us here on the Varsity Sports Show with his rebounding machine, Tate DeBoer, a.k.a. Dennis Rodman. And without all the drama. Thanks again for joining us. Gentlemen, have a great weekend. All right. When we come back, we'll be joined by Saguaro SaberCats head boys basketball coach Lucas Ramirez for the SaberCat Basketball Report, as well as a recruiting spotlight segment by our very own Nick Hogan on the second half of that segment. Stick around, folks. A lot of show left. I was going to say a lot of basketball left. A lot of show left here on the Varsity Sports Show. Vince and Connor, we'll be back. Go Varsity.
The Dan Patrick Show improves your mornings. The DP Show airs from 7 to 10 a.m., adjusting to that time change.
Okay.
Get your radios locked to 7 a.m. on KDUS AM 1060.
Hi, I'm Kayla Marinot, and I am new to the Varsity Sports Show team. I will be covering high school sports, both boys and girls. This season, you guys will be getting a brand new team. I'm super excited to be on the team and show you my work.
Hey guys, Vince here to talk to you about a good friend of mine named Bob Jenkins. Bob is a Marine Corps veteran. Bob and his younger brother DJ own Vets Built Contracting. You've seen their trucks around Metro Phoenix, I'm sure. For 5 years, they've been hiring and putting veterans to work. Vets Built is licensed, bonded, and insured, both residential and commercial, specializing in renovations, remodeling, new build, casitas, safe rooms, or small commercial TI work. If you're a skilled veteran looking for work, a homeowner in need of work, or a commercial business needing TI work, please call Bob or DJ at Vets Built at 480-584-3675. The Varsity Sports Show is proud to partner with SaberCat Athletics. That's right, the Scottsdale Saguaro SaberCats are on the Varsity Sports Show. Join the varsity team as we cover the Cats during the SaberCat Report on Saturday morning's Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS Arizona, featuring players, coaches, and commentary. Look out for live stream coverage of Saguaro SaberCat sporting events by going to YouTube and searching for Varsity Sports Show, then click that subscribe button to stay up to date. The Saguaro SaberCats are here.
SB Nation Radio is now Sports Map Radio, keeping sports content fresh and fun. Join us right here on KDUS AM 1060.
You're listening to the home of Saguaro SaberCat basketball. The Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060, KDUS, Arizona. And now, here's Coach Lucas Ramirez. Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show here on AM 1060 KDUS Arizona. Vince DeLisio and Connor Bonfilio, the lead basketball analyst for the Varsity Sports Show, joined by, in our regular segment here, joined by SaberCat basketball coach Lucas Ramirez. Big one this afternoon. Coach Ramirez, how you doing, sir?
Hey, how you guys doing? Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday for sure. So this is not typical in that it's rescheduled from a game that got postponed about a week or so ago. You guys don't normally play at 1 o'clock in the afternoon on a Saturday. So what's the vibe of the team? You get those guys in there? You guys running some sprints? What's going on?
No, for sure. It's totally different than what we're used to. The plan for us is, we'll get the guys in here a little earlier than normal. Freshmen tip off at 10, so we'll have all of our guys in the gym by 10:30, 10:45. They can get loose, just kind of getting that normal routine. It's different, but at the end of the day, it's basketball. These guys got to go out there. We got to compete and be ready to play and come out with a sense of urgency.
Coach Connor Bonfilio here. Good to hear from you again. Big one tonight this afternoon against Marcos Ceniza. You got Demarie Sawyer back on your squad. He's only played 3 games for you, but he's been a big component in these 3 games. What are you going to look from him to do for you guys tonight?
Yeah, no question about it. He's a huge help, huge addition for us. And only a sophomore, so very high ceiling. But with him and really everybody out there, we want them to come out and set the tone, send a message. And just have that intensity, have that edge right from tip-off. He can score in bunches for us. He can change things defensively. But, the message for him and, all of our guys, whenever they're on the floor, is just make the most of your minutes. But, you got to be aggressive. You got to be willing to take the first punch, wait to be hit and then respond. But, just go out and set the tone right away.
Coach, we don't know a lot about this Marcos Ceniza team that you're facing today, and they're looking like they're 5-5 overall. They haven't won a game in region as of yet, but what do you know about them?
They are looking for a win, obviously in region play, but they play hard. They're scrappy. they have some good pieces on their team, guys that can score in bunches that we're going to have to be aware of. And I tell you what, their record does not reflect, who they really are. And, coaches say that it's cliche all the time, but it's the truth. I mean, they've had a lot of success early on in the year. And, as you guys know, watching us, I mean, I don't care who the opponent is. Region games are hard to win. I don't care record, location, time, date. And they've been in some battles. They lost by 10 to ALA Queen Creek. They lost by 5 to Mesquite, if I remember off the top of my head. So they're right there. They're knocking on the door, and we're in the same spot. We've, won a couple region games, but, last time we were on the floor, it was not pretty. So we're looking forward to bounce back as well. So, it'll be a good matchup today.
Coach, how are you going to slow down Tony Mottola? He's kind of a tall, lanky guard/forward. He's been killing it for Marcos Deniza. What's it going to take from your team tonight to slow him down?
Yeah, great question. I think for us overall, and I've said it all this year, and I even said it last year to the guys, it's about making sure that we're playing a complete game. That's been our biggest problem this year, is we've yet to put together a full 32-minute game where the effort and intensity is where we want it to be, especially on the defensive end. An easy way to get burnt by him and by Marcos is just not getting back on defense, not locating our matchups, whether we're in man or we're in zone. We got to be just ready and focused and dialed into what we're doing. And for us, it starts on the defensive end. I think, our offensive performance last time we took the floor was the worst I've ever been associated with since I've been here. So I expect us to rebound offensively, but it starts just sending a message on defense and on the glass.
All right, that's Saguaro SaberCat head boys basketball coach Lucas Ramirez. Big game today against the Marcos Deniza Padres, 1 p.m. and the Varsity Sports Show. Connor Bonfilio, Nick Hogan will be on the call this afternoon for that one, 1 o'clock tip-off. The link is on Twitter, @Varsity Show, and we'll look forward to calling that one. Coach, good luck. We'll talk to you next week.
Yep, thanks. Appreciate all you guys do.
All right.
It's time for the Recruiting Spotlight, sponsored by My Recruits and Coach Perot.
All right, so with that, we have a new segment called the Recruiting Spotlight, and it's going to be delivered each week. We'll feature a different high school football player that is going to be spotlighted by our very own Nick Hogan. Nick is joining us as well from the Cronkite School. Nick is doing some broadcasting for us, as well as some analysis and some correspondence work, and he'll be spending a lot of time combing the high school football beat and talking about it. Nick, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Vince. How are you and Connor doing?
Well, we're great.
Doing good, man. Excited to see you this afternoon.
Yeah, you guys are on the call this afternoon for some great basketball out at Saguaro. But, Nick, let's pivot and tell us what you got for us today.
Awesome. Yeah, well, today we're going to be talking about Hunter Neely. And that's probably a name you guys haven't heard of. And it's kind of sad you haven't heard of it because he's flying under the radar, to be honest. And he's from Salina, Texas. And really, he's just a physical specimen. He stands at 6 foot, 225 pounds. He was all-state academic. He's a senior this year, has 4.7 speed, great strength. He repped 225 16 times in the bench press.
Wow.
Last supported. And he's coming off a state run where he led his team to the state semifinals as the team captain. Over his 2 years starting at middle linebacker, he had 220 tackles, 38 tackles for loss, 2 interceptions, and one of them was returned on a pick six. And not only was he just the captain, he was also the recipient of the team's Defensive MVP Award, the Headhunter Award, and Outstanding Linebacker Award. And he's coming from a long line of championship teams dating back to his Pee Wee days. Since he was 5 years old, he has lost less than 10 football games in his entire career. And anyone who knows about Salina, Texas, and the high school football traditions there will tell you all about the state championships and great players that come out of that area. It's a recruiting hotbed, really the whole state of Texas is, but Salina has some great players themselves. And his nickname on his True Buzz 7-on-7 team, according to Coach Perone, is baby Urlacher.
Wow.
And that is, it's very apparent why that is when you get to watch his film. From my study, I had a chance to watch him for a few hours this past week, and the first thing you notice is he's so physical. That even if you don't understand football, you can tell immediately this guy loves to hit people. He never plays passive, and he's willing to stick his nose into any tackle and finish it. And that's obviously extremely important of any middle linebacker. And while we're talking about his tackling, his form is excellent. And when combined with a great read and great first step, he just becomes a great run stopper. He plays super downhill. But my only question I have with him after the film study is how he would adjust to pass coverage requirements that middle linebackers have in today's college football, as that can be challenging for backers who want to play so downhill with how offenses have evolved into these dynamic spread offenses where, as middle linebackers, you spend a lot of time in coverage now, right?
Yeah.
Where 20 years ago, it was just thumping people up at the line of scrimmage, where it's a little bit different now. But according to Coach Perone, he's a great kid as he teaches Sunday school and volunteers with his dad at an organization that helps wounded veterans while also maintaining great grades in the classroom. Now, as far as his offers go, I really don't think the pass coverage thing is what's holding people back. And I think that's something he can definitely develop. And, you know, in high school, teams run the ball more than they do in college. And so maybe there's just not a lot of film on that. You know, so I'm not saying he can't cover the pass. I'm just saying it's hard to see from his film because most of his highlights are stopping the run.
Yeah.
But his biggest offer thus far is from Air Force. However, he did tweet in early 2021, so about a year ago, that he had virtual visits with Arizona State and UNLV, so two schools pretty close to where we're at. And along with Coach Perone, I think that would be he would just be a great addition to anyone's roster simply due to his physicality and tackling ability. And Vince, with your coaching experience, I'm sure you've never said, we have too many guys who can tackle. We have too many guys who are tough. Every team can use more guys who are tough and can tackle. I don't care where you're at in the country. Everybody can use more of those guys because that's not just valuable on defense. That's also a huge help on special teams. People really forget about that third side of the ball. And at worst case scenario, I see this guy as somebody who can make a huge impact on special teams. But realistically, I think he can be a part of a lot of teams' defenses out here in the West. Or I know he has a bunch of offers from the small schools in his area, but it's pretty interesting that Air Force is the only big school to reach out. Just think he's really flying under the radar here.
Yeah. Well, and you know, when coaches got to put their name on a kid, meaning the college coaches, you want to find somebody, obviously, that gets it done on the field, but you've got to be able to dig through and find someone that is a good person off the field because they're going to be, you know, promoting your brand. And this it sounds like this Hunter Neely out of Salina, Texas is all of that and then some, in that he would represent a program very well with what he does off the field, as well as being a pretty darn good football player. He's got a lot of speed, he's strong, and he's got some decent size, and he's continuing to grow. So nice job, Nick.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me on.
All right, that was Nick Hogan with this week's Recruiting Spotlight. Brought to you by My Recruits and our old friend Coach Perone. So, Connor, when we come back from the break, we are going to be joined by our another new face here to the Varsity Sports Show, Geraldine Torellis, who's presenting a new series devoted strictly to promoting nonprofits and great things going on in the community. It's called the Spring Spotlight Series. I am so excited to present this one. She's promoting an organization not a lot of people have heard of, and it's going to be great. And then we'll wrap the show with our old friend, the Beachin' with Beal Surf Report, my old friend Mike Beal. He is somewhere, an undisclosed location on the globe. He is out of the country. So stick around, folks, when we come back here on the Varsity Sports Show. Final segment coming up. Vince and Connor. Be a lot of fun, and we'll be back with Geraldine for the Spring Spotlight Series. Go Varsity.
Monday nights from 7 to 8 p.m. It's James Out West featuring Ryan Brooks as the duo breaks down the NFL, NBA, and the local sports scene here on KDUS AM 1060.
Hi, My name is Geraldine Torellis, and I'm with the Varsity Sports Show. I am currently a graduate student at the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication at Arizona State University, and I will be hosting the Spring Spotlight Series. As someone who grew up here in Arizona, I am very excited to cover stories on local nonprofit organizations and charities that are doing great work throughout the Valley. Join me this spring to see what fellow Arizona residents are doing to better serve our community and help others.
Welcome to the Jaguar Nation. The Varsity Sports Show is proud to partner up with Canyon View High School in the West Valley to be the voice of Jaguar athletics. Tune in on Saturdays to hear the Jaguar Nation, featuring coaches, students, and staff between 9 and 10 a.m. on AM 1060 KDUS, and subscribe to the Varsity Sports Show YouTube channel to get free exclusive coverage of Canyon View sporting events. Welcome to the Jaguar Nation.
Jack it up.
Training Better Athletes was founded by renowned football coach Ron Sowers with the philosophy of training well-rounded young people in mind and body. TBA is the go-to for middle schoolers through the pros. Coach Sowers has worked with all sports but specializes in football offensive and defensive line skills training. Whether it's one-on-one or group training, reach out to Coach Sowers at trainingbetterAthletes.com or call him at 602-435-9064. You can't cheat the grind.
The decades of sports experience pouring out Tuesday nights from 6 to 7 p.m. with Killer Bees Ball with Jim Brinson and Howard Balzer on AM 1060 and KDUS1060.com.
This is the Spring Spotlight Series on the Varsity Sports Show. AM 1060 KDUS Arizona with your host, Geraldine Torellis.
A mixture of hammers tapping on furniture and quiet chatter could be heard as I made my way into the cozy office of the Welcome to America Project. My name is Geraldine Torellis with the Varsity Sports Show, and I sat down with Mike Sullivan, the agency director of the Welcome to America Project, to talk about the work that this organization is doing to help refugees.
We're just a conduit for the community's kindness. We put the word out that there's people that could use help, and share specifically the ways that people can help.
With photos of smiling faces and a sign with the hashtag All Are Welcome, the Welcome to America Project has created an inviting environment for the refugees that they assist.
So we go out and we do welcomes on Saturdays, and that's where we, deliver the furniture into the house. And then after we do, we set up the place. We sit down with the family and say, tell us a little bit about, we meet the members of the family. We hear from the matriarch or the patriarch, their journey, their hopes.
The furniture that is given to refugees is donated from members of the community. People can also donate clothes, and those clothes are then used for the clothing closet.
We'll go out and we have Metro Tech in Phoenix help build some kiosks, and we'll roll things out and then let people shop with dignity. So they're not really paying for the stuff, but the idea is that I don't want people digging through a bag of clothes.
Furniture and clothing are not the only items being donated to families. In the small warehouse at the back of their building, there are rows of boxes full of kitchen supplies, toiletries, and toys. Sullivan's eyes fell on a Barbie doll with dark skin sitting in a box.
So this is going out to a family, and so what we want to do is not notions of inclusion, right?
The organization also has partnerships that assist with giving resources to refugees. Families have been given computers, bikes, soccer balls, and other items. The Welcome to America Project works closely with the Valencia Newcomer School. This is a school that works specifically with refugee children to get them acclimated with going to school in America. Living in a refugee camp is a stark contrast from an American school, and it can be a difficult adjustment for children. Sullivan recalls a story of a boy who had to come to America from a camp.
Young kid that kept leaving the classroom. He had there was a sister and then another two sisters that were twins, and he kept leaving the classroom. His job in camp was to keep an eye on his siblings. So he was just doing the same job at school.
It's stories like these that compel volunteers to continue returning to the Welcome to America Project to help refugees.
People that come to visit us have an experience that they talk about for a long time. And I like to, we turn fear into hope.
Sullivan specified that while refugees are fearful of what lies ahead for their future, they are not the only ones who are scared.
When people come here, they're thinking, what is a refugee? When they leave here, they're knowing who is a refugee.
The Welcome to America project can also serve as a way to educate the community.
So when you meet somebody who's a refugee and you hear their story and you realize how good their life was and how the only difference between a refugee and somebody here is circumstance.
Volunteers help with a number of things, but are needed most when the organization is getting ready to welcome a family.
We have to do a lot of things to get ready for that. So we have to sort in the warehouse, the donations that come in. We have to pack for the families. You have different stuff that you might need. So we find out what they need. Then we'll pack for the families.
Providing refugees with the resources and supplies they need, combined with meeting volunteers, is what makes this organization a welcoming one. Geraldine Torellas, Varsity Sports Show, Phoenix.
Great report, Geraldine, and we're joined on the line by Geraldine Torellas. Geraldine, I thank you so much for doing this series. Geraldine, another of the great staff, amazing staff that we have joining us this winter and for the spring here on the Varsity Sports Show. And Geraldine's prime focus is going to be the Spring Spotlight Series and kind of discovering some of these undiscovered gems in the community. Welcome to America Project. I was just on their website. I'd never heard of them. And Geraldine, how'd you find these guys?
I was just looking through different nonprofit organizations and charities and just trying to find these organizations that maybe people aren't aware of and trying to shed light on these organizations and the great work that they're doing.
Geraldine, this is Connor Bonfilio. I'm a Master's of Sports Journalism student at ASU. I know you're a master's student as well. I know you were a college golfer. What made you shift your focus from golf over to such an inspirational topic like this?
I've always been a person that has been passionate about human rights and these kind of topics about people. So I think that golf taught me a lot of values, as far as being a good teammate, working hard, and with golf you have to be honest, right? And so I think that a lot of those values are things that I learned in golf and try to instill, and I think that there's that, I guess, that like kind of transfer from that.
It's it's interesting, Connor, that you asked that question also, because I had no idea when I met Geraldine and when I looked through her resume and her CV, her background, I had no idea that she was so involved with, I'll be honest with you, Geraldine, I had no idea that you were so involved in human rights issues, which you are and were, but I just I went off of our conversation and in talking to you about some different things that I thought you would be perfect for this assignment and throughout the spring and winter. But yeah, you were a heck of a golfer. You played at South Mountain Community College and also transferred to University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley, I believe was where you played, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and so heck of a career, amazing, and you were a classroom teacher for 4 years before you returned to school to finish your graduate work. So you bring a special element to this in that and I don't take this isn't to knock any of our other staff that have been straight school the whole time, but you bring some real additional real world experience to this thing, and it's just amazing. But last question I have for you is, how do people get involved with the Welcome to America project?
Yeah, so you can go onto their website. There's a volunteer page, and they have different options of things that you can do. And so you pick an option that you'd like to help with. And they mostly need volunteers on Saturdays to welcome refugee families. And then you just click that option and you sign up. And they're also always taking in donations, and they have drop-off days and times on their website.
Awesome. Geraldine Torellas with the Spring Spotlight Series, and she is making this segment her own, bringing a special element to it. It's going to be amazing, and I'm excited. I'm on pins and needles, like I told you the other night when I heard this demo of the segment about what's to come in future weeks. So stay tuned. She'll be presenting a regular report on different agencies, spotlighting different people in the community and different agencies. So Geraldine, thanks again. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, you too.
All right, nice work. Okay, Aaron, hit it.
And now it's time for Beachin' with Beal. Random thoughts from a real Orange County, California surfer guy, Mike Beal. The opinions expressed during this segment in no way represent those of KDUS AM 1060 Arizona, the Varsity Sports Show, its host, or its listeners.
You gotta play the disclaimer. You always gotta play that disclaimer because we go from Emmy Award-winning material. Oh yeah, we got the music too. You hear that, Mike?
I do.
Yeah. So we go from Emmy Award-winning material presented by Geraldine Torellis in the Spring Spotlight Series. Now we're kind of, I guess, going off a cliff here with the Beachin' with Beal's Southern California Surf Report. But you're somewhere else on the globe, and it's been a mystery. I posted the flag of the country, and nobody was able to guess with accuracy where you are. Where are you?
Yeah, I found out pretty quick that not a lot of people are familiar with Belize. I'm in Central America on the Caribbean. It's between Mexico and Guatemala.
Yeah, they let you in, and they are going to let you out as well, hopefully.
Well, I tell you, I wish Geraldine was with me. I'd get a golden pass. She was quite the impressive girl.
Yeah, she is quite the journalist. So, hey, Mike, I want you to meet Connor. Connor's going to be our lead basketball analyst, and he said he's going to school you on the court.
All right, I'm looking forward to it, Connor. I'll admit I'm a little rusty, and I can't shoot the three like I used to.
Well, and plus you're 51 years old too. So
Michael,
yeah,
you
so
4 points. How's it sound? That sound fair?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, he said he would spot you 4 points. So okay, so Mike, in our last, we literally have 1 minute here. I'm sorry, we'll make it up next time. But what do you got for us today?
Well, I can tell you, Belize is a little different. It's sort of like Hawaii without surfable waves, and instead there's iguanas and crocodiles everywhere you go.
Wow.
The weather's nice. The food is good. The national beer, Belican, is nice. And today we're going to go take a boat to this place called the Secret Beach, where apparently it's a photo shoot waiting to happen. Yeah. And then later we're going to go check out a property that my pickleball teammate Lyle owns.
Pickleball, yeah.
No pickleball here, though. Yeah.
Okay.
But still, it's good. It's all good here. Next time, I'll be home. Plenty of time to report back from California with the real surf report next time.
Do you think, is it something that I would like? Do you think I'd like Belize?
No.
Why?
No, I think, well, because you kind of have to be tough to come here. It's,
okay, that's not me. Okay. All right. You got one singer in. I set you up for that one perfectly. So anyway. All right. So
yes, thank you.
Yes. So with the Beachin' with Beal Southern California Surf Report live from Belize this morning, our old friend Mike Beal. Mike, my old high school teammate and friend sometimes. Mike, thanks so much for joining us today. And any last words?
Yeah, thank you for having Geraldine and Connor on. And also, I think I heard a little bit of Red Barchetta from Rush on earlier. Your show is finally kind of getting cool. I think you need more guests like Connor and Geraldine.
There we go.
And
okay.
me,
more often. Okay, we'll do. All right, guys, on behalf of all of our wonderful guests today, we were joined by, and no lie, Coach Vince Lombardi from Southern Arizona Prep School, the Volunteers, Coach April Schilling from Bella Vista, the game going on this evening, 5:30 p.m. We are broadcasting that game. Our own Ryan Blank and Sammy Rivera have that one. 1 p.m., we've got Lucas Ramirez, Saguaro Sabercats, hosting Marcos Denisa. Connor, you'll be out there with Nick Hogan. Thanks again to Coach Joe Coletti, Alyssa from Willow Canyon High School, and Tate DeBoer. Alyssa Munoz, our JUCO sports beat writer. Geraldine Torellis, Nick Hogan, Geraldine Torellis Spring Spotlight. Nick Hogan with the recruiting spotlight from My Recruits. I'm your host, Vince Delicio. Thanks again to our show partners. On behalf of Connor Bonfilio, thanks again, everyone. Have a great day. We'll see you next week. Ed and Javon are up next, 10 to 12, Easy Sports, out in the field, doing a great show. Go Varsity.
Thank you for listening to the Varsity Sports Show. Our mission is to empower education and enable dreams, creating a platform to promote young people in extracurricular activities and community outreach. If you are interested in partnering up with the Varsity Sports Show, find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or call or text us at 480-779-9437. The Varsity Sports Show, Arizona's home for youth, high school, college, and you.